Come on, guys, you rocking out with the one and only Philly Dom and Master Wayne. I was asking about him when he gonna come back and do a live, and he's back here to do a live with you guys to talk about Amazon FBA and how you can change your life and make this your full-time hustle. You ain't got to work a 9 to 5, because I know we all hate the 9 to 5, even if we making good money off of it, because it takes your time. And one thing you can't get back is time. No matter how much money you got, whatever, you can't get back time. So, Master Wayne, take it from here.
I appreciate you. Master Wayne is in the building. All right. So, for those who are now meeting me for the very first time, my name is Wayne McShay. I'm a military veteran. I served in the United States Army. And around 2012, 2013, I was married. And, you know, the marriage was starting to fall apart. But I remember one day I was laying in bed with the ex-wife, and she was on her laptop and she was shopping. And she was bouncing around between eBay and Amazon. And at that time, I had never even shopped on Amazon. I'd only shopped on eBay a couple of times just playing around. But as she was switching through the websites, I told her to, okay, hold on for a second, because I saw something that I wanted to buy, that I wanted to wear to the gym, because I'm heavy into working out. And so I noticed that the same product that I saw on eBay was half the price on Amazon. So I was like, okay, man, that's kind of strange. And then that very next day, I received an email. It was from a company called Dropship Domination. And then I watched a little short 15-minute presentation, and that presentation sort of connected the dots for me. And so I started drop shipping. I started making some money. I took all the money I made after a year and I invested it into another company called The Amazing Selling Machine. It was $3,000 for the whole course, but that course taught me how to private label. So by this time, it was like now December of 2014, and the divorce is now finalized, and my wife is ex-wife is walking out the door, and she tells me that good luck, and I'm not going to be successful with Amazon because I'm not going to stick with it. And those are the last words we ever spoke to one another. And I just remember, I never forgot that, and that gave me the motivation to actually stick with it. And so fast forward to now, and here I am, a self-made millionaire with Amazon. It's been 10 years now, and it's partially due to her for that motivation. Sometimes people try to discourage you with words, but if you take that and you use it as motivation, it can change your life. And only thing you need to dress it up with that is work ethic. And so that's what I've been up to for the past 10 years. And for the past 2 years, I've officially mentored 98 people to duplicate the same success that I'm having. And I'm going to show you guys that success of my clients and myself in this presentation. So you're going to get a full walkthrough. Now, I've been traveling the world now for 8 years. I took 2 years off for COVID, and you couldn't travel anyway. So I just had to figure out what I was going to do with my life at that point. So I just laid low and just built my business even more. But I've been to now 4 continents. I've been to 18 different countries, and I've been to 41 states. And so I'm an official Amazon guru. I can teach you private label. I can teach you retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, resale, and Amazon book publishing. And so I'm one of those rare individuals who not only operates in a business through Amazon, but multiple businesses through Amazon. So give you 5 or 6 recurring streams of income. And that's how you really change your life financially. You need multiple streams of income. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the presentation and walk you through the whole thing. Now, first and foremost, most people just say, Is this a scam? That's their first question. And that's actually a very good question. But if you go back in time to when Amazon was created in 2000, and I think the early 2000s, Amazon was only selling books. And so this was also the, the infantile nature of the internet. And so, when the internet started to pop up, it created online universities, and that put a lot of brick and mortar universities out of business. And so Amazon had this surplus of books that they were getting from these universities that were losing their accreditation and going out of business, and they needed help. So Amazon said, listen, if you guys can find these books and send them in to us, we'll split the profit with you. And so that right there kind of launched the Amazon FBA and the Amazon book selling entire website marketplace. And so that's how Amazon got into the business of selling books. So this is by no means a scam. So if you fast forward a little bit to 2006, Amazon realized that not only could they sell books, but they could sell just about anything on the planet, and everything from the cradle to the grave. And when people ask me what I do for a living, sometimes that's exactly what I tell them. I tell them I sell products from the cradle to the grave, from the time you're born to the time your time is up is on this planet. I sell everything in between that people buy during that period of time, from birth to death. And so it's a simple process, really. You wholesale products, or you find products from manufacturers or retail arbitrage, and you send those products into Amazon. And that process is called fulfillment by Amazon, or for short, the acronym is FBA. And once you send it into Amazon, it arrives at Amazon's fulfillment centers, and then it goes live on the website. Amazon will pick, pack, and prep and ship that product straight to your customer, Amazon Prime, 2-day shipping. And then from there, your customer's happy, Amazon pays you, everybody wins. So that is the business nature of Amazon. Now, I'm sure you've probably been in the grocery store within the last week, last couple of days. And for me, this is how this second leg of my journey started, which is Amazon Arbitrage. So as you can see on your screen, this is a plain jar of Peter Pan honey roasted peanut butter. And in Atlanta, I used to go into Kroger's and Publix and a few other grocery store chains and buy this peanut butter for $2.86. And I would be able to resell it once I send it into Amazon for $14.99. So that means every trip to the grocery store I made netted me $357. Now, if you add that up over a 30-day period, that's more than $10,710 per month. So once it started happening for me, I knew that I was on to something. And I'm gonna tell you later how I actually discovered this process, and then how I turned it into a course. But first, let me give you some little background information on Amazon by the numbers. So Amazon's annual revenue is $514 billion. That's with a B, $billion, 514. They have 300 million customers worldwide and 2.7 billion visits to their website every single month. And 66% of all consumers start their search for products on Amazon. So if you're searching for information, you usually go to Google. When you're searching to buy a product, you go to Amazon. All right. Let's see. Customers buy 7,400 products every single minute off of Amazon. So it's a whopping amount of sales that comes to Amazon every single minute. And of course, Amazon is the largest seller or the largest marketplace on the planet. All right, so again, Amazon started in 1994, and by 2006, they finally launched the FBA program. And of course, COVID came around, but even through COVID, they still remain profitable and recession proof. Now, if you're wondering whether or not this is for you, then let me just give you a quick breakdown of the demographics. So, most Amazon sellers range in age from 25 to 44. So, if you're within that sweet spot, this is ideally and perfect for you. Now, location, United States, but Amazon has 20 different marketplaces. So I'm gonna break down some of those marketplaces a little bit later. And gender, 72% of all Amazon sellers are male, whereas 26% are female and 2% are undisclosed. Now, education, most Amazon sellers have a bachelor's, and I thought that was kind of interesting because I didn't know that. But you don't need a bachelor's, you don't need a master's, you don't need a college degree of any sort, you don't even need a high school diploma. All you need to do is learn how to register to become an Amazon seller, but more importantly, you need to figure out and learn exactly what you're doing and how to be successful so you won't get banned. All right. Now, this is also kind of interesting, but 38% of all Amazon sellers still work a full-time job. So that means that the majority of Amazon sellers are people who do this part-time and they're still working their full-time job. And that's exactly what you want in terms of a business when you're trying to leave behind your 9 to 5 and create a sustainable income for you, and then of course change and alter your lifestyle. And 39% of all Amazon sellers are digital nomads. That means they can live anywhere and work their business anywhere on the planet as long as they have a reliable internet connection. Now, these are the main staple of Amazon businesses. So number one is private label. That's when you have a product manufactured and then that product is now your own brand. You get to assign it a logo, you give it a name, and you have sole proprietary ownership of that particular product. And if you want to sell it 2 years, a year from now, then you can do that. There's plenty of marketplaces where now you can sell either your entire Amazon business or just a product that you have. Next is wholesale. Wholesale is when you go directly to major corporations like Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, Michael Kors, Fiji Water, Dell, Samsung, Puma, and the list goes on. So you can literally sell just about anything on the planet if you know how to do it correctly. And that's what my mentorship is about, teaching you how to do all of these things correctly. Next is retail arbitrage, and that's when you go directly into the store and you buy a product, put it in your shopping cart, bring it home, boom, send it into Amazon, rinse and repeat. Next is online arbitrage, and then online arbitrage, you can be at your computer anywhere in the world, make a purchase, have it shipped into Amazon, rinse and repeat. And last but not least, there's drop shipping. Now, most people think drop shipping is illegal on Amazon, and they're sort of kind of correct. So this is a gray area. In order for you to properly drop ship on Amazon, you can't obtain your products from another retailer who ships out the product in a branded box. So let's say if you were to try to drop ship from Walmart, you would get suspended and banned from Amazon for that. Because when the customer receives their product, it's going to arrive in a Walmart box instead of a Amazon box. So there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it that'll get you banned for life. Now, these are the top international Amazon marketplaces for third-party sellers. And by the way, again, third-party sellers like myself and my clients, or possibly you, make up more than 60% of all Amazon sales. So we make Amazon what it actually is. So, of course, the United States is the largest Amazon marketplace, followed by Canada, the United Kingdom, Mexico, Germany, France, Australia, Italy, Spain, and Japan. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but recently Amazon has now opened up Amazon Brazil and Amazon South Africa. And so to tell you that Amazon is expanding would be just an understatement entirely. Now, what's the best categories it's selling? Well, the biggest and the best category on Amazon is home and kitchen, followed by beauty and personal care, toys and games, clothing, shoes and jewelry, household and baby care, and then the list goes on and on from there. So you can literally sell in just about every category. Now, what about where all these products come from? Well, believe it or not, 74% of all the products on Amazon come from China. So that shouldn't be a surprise for you. And another 33% comes from the United States, whereas another 9 or 10% come from India, and then so forth and so on. Now, if you're going to sell on Amazon, and this is something you would never know unless you had someone like me in your corner mentoring you, because a lot of sellers make this mistake, and this is why they fail. If you sell a product over a certain price point, then you're going to have to deal with the majority of the competition. So I'm going to show you that in a second. But most people ask me, okay, well, Master Wayne, how many products do I need in order to make a substantial amount of income on Amazon? And the answer is one. But I recommend that you go up to about maybe 50 at the very maximum. That's all you'll need. And so if you're going to have just one product, then that more than likely needs to be a product that's private label that you own. And one correctly chosen private label product can make you 6 figures a month. All right. And next, the price range. And this is a mistake I see a lot of new sellers make. So if you sell products $50 all the way down to 99 cents or 1 cent, you're now going up against 91% of all other Amazon sellers. But the moment you sell products at a price point of $51 on up, then your competition decreases by 91%. So knowing this information and going into it with this intel can make the difference between whether or not you succeed or whether or not you fail. And these are another of the fastest growing Amazon marketplaces: Turkey, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, and Australia. Now, so again, why should you even listen to me? So here's one good reason why you should listen to me, other than I'm going to show you some of the success stories of my clients in a second. I'm going to show you my success first. So one, this is me at an ATM machine, and I took a picture of my bank account. And so that's 100,000 that I like to keep in my savings, and that's or vice versa, and just 1.298 million in my checking account. And so, as you can see, I've made a lot of money in this business. It's not just all talk. And if this isn't enough for you, then let me give you this. So this is a snapshot of my main Amazon account. And as you can see, my total balance sitting at $26,584. And if that's not enough, because, if you're skeptical, you could be saying to yourself, oh, well, Master Wayne, that could be a screenshot. And you would be absolutely be correct. That could be a screenshot. But here I am, where I stayed in Santo Domingo for 6 months back in 2021. And here I am at my computer. You can see my 3 monitor setup. And I'm hitting the refresh button, as you just saw. And here's my main Amazon account that I'm logged into. And boom, And now you can see my balance is $32,784.52. So no screenshot, no Photoshop, no smoke and mirrors, all legit. I mean, you could talk to Philly Dom, you could talk to my clients. You know, they've seen it up and close, up personal. Matter of fact, Philly Dom actually came out to Brazil, and well, he was with me for 3 months in Brazil, and he didn't have to pay for anything for 3 months. So, you know, that's kind of how I roll. You know, when I got friends and family with me, and, you know, who are in the same country that I'm in, and we're just catching the vibe and having a good time. Now, if that's not enough, here's one of my statements, and I just randomized these statements. So this is the statement from April 22, and I didn't want to just put 3 months of statements all together because then somebody say, okay, you just had 3 lucky months. But as you can see, that's 35,000 right there for the month. Here's another statement. This is from like July through August. That's 32,000. And here's a bad month. And this is what a bad month looks like, 29,000. And this is from February to March of this year. So you can see I just randomized them. And so, you know, very few people are willing to show you this level of information because very few people are this level of legitimate and have helped so many people. You know, I'm not just an online guru where, you know, my instructions are, hey, go watch a video, go sign up at my website, watch 400 videos and hope that you're successful. Nah, I take a vested interest in my client's success. That's why I offer a mentorship instead of doing the whole website thing. Now, in the future, I may do the website thing. That's up in the air. But for now, I have 98 clients and I only have 2 spots left. So at the end of this presentation, it's going to be first come, first serve for those last remaining 2 spots. Because I told Philly Dom, I got into this business and came out of retirement just so I can make a change in 100 people's lives. And so this is actually discovered the arbitrage business. These 2 gentlemen right here, I met in 2015. This is my very first trip when I started making money. This is Gio on the left from the UK, and this is Luke from Arizona. And Luke asked me one day, he was like, all right, Wayne, so you own your own nail clippers that you private label on Amazon, and you're making $18,000 a month selling nail clippers, but can you sell all those other of tens of millions of products on Amazon? And I kind of froze for a second because I didn't know the answer to that question. But when I tell you I was on the first plane smoking back to Atlanta so I could get back into my lab and figure out whether or not I could do it or not. And man, Luke ended up being right. Turns out you can sell just about anything on Amazon if you know how to do it correctly. And so I came home and it took me 3.5 years to figure out how to do it correctly and put it into a system. So if ever I wanted to teach somebody, I could teach them how to duplicate my success. So I put in 3.5 years of work to put this whole system together. But my good friend Gio, he did get involved in the business. Luke never got involved in the business. He was already doing well with traveling the world and doing SEO for supermarket chains. So the supermarket chain in Colombia, I think it was Esto, I forgot, Echo, I forgot the name of it. It's been a while since I've been back to Colombia, but they would pay him $30,000 a month to do their SEO on Google so they can rank #1 on Google. So, you know, he already had his hands full, but Gio signed on and boom, he sent in his results and boom, that's $5,000 in 1 month. And in Colombia, $5,000 a month goes a long way. This is another one of my clients. This is my main man, Colin. And as you can see in his screenshot, he said the digital nomadic lifestyle and beachfront condo in the tropics is now a reality. Thanks, Master Wayne. And in the screenshot, he was at $10,240 a month. And with 10 grand a month, you could live just about anywhere you want in the world and start creating the lifestyle that you really want. All right. This is another one of my clients. This is Walter. And Walter is actually a truck driver. And he sent me in this screenshot. And he was like, yo, I just broke $2,500 barrier with $656 coming in every day. And so when he sent in the screenshot, he was averaging about $4,350 every 2 weeks. And so he was like, thank you, Wayne, for leading me to water. I sure was thirsty. With patience and vigilance, things are starting to blossom. If one thing isn't working for us, shift a couple of pieces around. There are many good ways to go about this. Share this information. Sharing information isn't sharing your product. Strong together. All right. And this is another one of my good clients, Mark Metellus. When he sent me in his screenshot, he was like, I'm on my way to, I'm $49 away from my first $3,000 a month. I remember that was his first post. And then boom, this was his second a couple of months later. And he was like, Wayne, I hit $11,900 a month. And so, you know, shout out to Mark Metellus doing this thing. And this is Vanessa, the boss Pittman. Now, Vanessa had a peculiar story because Vanessa contacted me and she told me that her husband had a major stroke and he was a breadwinner and they had limited savings to survive on. So she had to figure something out. So this, for her, this was this was either do or die. And so she got started and boom, within a couple of months, you know, she was anticipating that she would make about $5,000 a month, but she eclipsed that and made $6,000 a month. So shout out to Vanessa, the boss Pittman. And this is another one of my clients, Andrea Furlow. She hit the ground running. She had a very fast start. So, you know, she had a good internet background and business background. And within 45 days, she was already at $1,200 every single month. So shout out to Andrea. And back in August of last year, my niece got married out in Las Vegas. So I left the DR, flew home to Atlanta, stayed in Atlanta for a couple of days, and then made my way out to Las Vegas for my niece's wedding. And while out there, one of my clients who lived in California was like, Wayne, I want to come meet you in person. And so she got in her car and drove up to Las Vegas from Rancho Cucamonga, California. I think it's like a 5-hour drive, something like that, 5 hours. I don't know exactly. But this is us at Yard House. And, you know, once a client will jump in their car and drive 3 to 5 hours to come and meet you, that's because you're giving them stellar service that can change their lives. There are certain restrictions on adult toys, but I can show you how to get the proper regulations in order to sell adult toys. I'm trying to glance at your questions as I go along, but we're going to stop halfway and I'm going to answer all your questions. All right. And in Atlanta, I used to go to this esthetician. Her name is Marsha. So if you're in Atlanta and you're looking for a good esthetician, let me know. I can definitely get you connected to Marsha. So this is Marsha and her husband, Sheldon. She became one of my clients, and they actually flew out to the DR where I was for 18 months. And they came and stayed with me with my villa and with me and my Dominican girlfriend. And at this point, Marsha was at about $1,200 every 2 weeks. So again, this speaks to the level of service that I give to all my clients. You know, if you want to come out and stay at my villa or visit me wherever I am in the world, no problem. Just book your ticket and come on out. And, you know, depending on where I am in the world and what type of accommodations I have set up, you can even stay with me or stay in the same general area. All right. And this is another client of mine. This is Anthony the Boss Hampton, $10,000 a month. And Anthony doesn't even do any of his own work anymore. He has a VA, and I can connect you with this same exact VA who will actually work your entire Amazon business for you. So all Anthony does is just checks his phone every day like I do and watch the money roll in while somebody else is doing the work for you. So not only will I be teaching you the business, I'll be teaching you how to set up a business properly, and then how to bring in a virtual assistant. So now you got employees running your business, and you are now an official boss. And this right here is actually my very first client. So this is Elena. Elena and I have known each other for 10 years. We started playing volleyball together in Atlanta. And around 2017, 2018, we were on a volleyball team together playing in the league. And we made it all the way to the championship and lost. And so I had such a good time playing with the team, though, because we were a good close knit of friends, that I decided to take everybody out to Top Golf and treat them all Top Golf on me, drinks on me, food on me. And then afterwards, we also went out to do an escape room. And so afterwards, Elena got a little curious, and she pulled me to the side and said, "Okay, Wayne, what the hell do you do for a living? Because you're not doing normal stuff." And so I set her down, I taught her, and boom, about 6 months later, she sent me this screenshot, and she was making over $10,000 a month. So, it doesn't matter what your background is, how old you are, I can teach you. Now, during the pandemic, I remember we went on lockdown March the 13th of 2020. And at that point, I couldn't travel. I was stuck at home, couldn't go anywhere. But then I found a loophole, and that loophole was Uber. So, I got into one of my cars, signed up on Uber, and boom, that allowed me to leave the house. And I picked this young lady up from the airport, and she was flying in from Memphis. And, she was married at the time. Her husband was doing real estate, but, he was spoon feeding her an allowance, and it was a measure of control, so to speak. And so she paid me to mentor her. And fast forward a couple of months, she was now bringing in $3,000 to $5,000 every 2 weeks. So she sent me this text message just to give me an update, and man, it really changed her life. Next thing you know, she didn't have to be controlled or pacified by a little small allowance. And next thing I know, she had a passport, and she was off traveling the world pretty much like I am. All right. And these are 3 of my clients who actually flew out to the Dominican Republic to actually train with me in person. So that's Jay Gustavo, Mike Logan, and Ernest Folks. So again, if you're the type of person who wants to come out, meet me in person, and train with me in person, that's absolutely no problem. We can make that happen. But again, I will advise you there's only 2 spots left, and then that's it. I'm closing the doors to my mentorship for good, because obviously I can't handle more than 100 clients. And this is Ernest's dashboard for his Amazon account. And he sent me this as a screenshot. And as you can see, 10,000 product sales. So that's not his actual profit, but that's the total amount of products being ordered. So 60 products ordered, and he netted $10,000. So Ernest was doing quite well once he finally got the hang of things. And now Ernest has over 50 coloring books, because I also have another course called Amazon Book Publishing that teaches you how to publish books, journals, coloring books. And so Ernest now has a repertoire of 50 coloring books. And when you put books up onto the Amazon KDP marketplace, you get paid off those books residual for the rest of your life. You do the work one time, you get paid for the rest of your life. This is my first Canadian client. Shout out to Renee. And, she sent me in this screenshot because she was super excited. And this was her very first sale. This is one of my clients from California. And he jumped on a plane, flew from California to the East Coast, caught a connecting flight to the DR. 8-9 hours later, he was sitting side by side with me at Roomba's, where we took this picture. And as you can see on the left, this is his actual first private label product that he actually owns. So can you imagine, Ronnie, Ronnie's pickup line when the woman asks him what he does, and he just pulls out his phone. It's like, oh, I own my own Dead Sea mud mask, and he also resells another beauty product also. But I'm not going to tell you all his business. But now Ronnie is doing well. So again, speaks volume of your business model and your work ethic when people would jump on a plane to come meet you in person and train in person. And when they start to see the fruits of their labor evolve. All right, this is another client of mine. This is Soba. She's from Guinea, Africa. And Soba has nothing but coloring books and journals on Amazon. And she started back in March. And this is her income for May and June. And so if you add these 2 months up together, so her first payout was $1,832 for May. And then by June, that had blossomed to $5,536. So now for 2 months worth of income and no more worth of work, Soba is averaging $4,600 a month. And I don't know about you, but $4,600 a month recurring income, and every single month that's going to grow. And she's still writing more journals and designing more coloring books. By the end of this year, Soba will probably be making $10,000 to $15,000 a month on just journals and coloring books. Now, it is work that she puts in to get these things created, but she's developed a system and she's very efficient at it. And if you decide to come on as one of my clients, I can connect you with her because she will assist you with journals and coloring books, and I'll assist you with writing novels and storybooks. So, whatever way you choose, success is right at your doorstep. So the next question that I get is, okay, I would love to sell on Amazon and, become financially free and start traveling the world, but I heard Amazon was oversaturated. And so again, my philosophy is I never listen to what other people are saying. I always go and do my own research. And when I do my research, I do it by the numbers. So let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so as you can see right here, Amazon brings in about $4.4 billion every single week. All right, so that's $638 million a day. So focus on that number for a second. $638 million every single day. All right, there's 350 million people in the United States. We're talking men, women, and children. 350 million people. Now, if Amazon paid every single person in the United States $1,000 per day, so that means every day when you wake up, boom, there's $1,000 in your account, Amazon would still profit $288 million a day. So I want you to decide for yourself, does that sound like Amazon is oversaturated? And mind you, Amazon just opened up Brazil and South Africa. Long pause for dramatic effect. So does that sound like Amazon is oversaturated? Now, when you listen to people like that, they tell you that information for a reason. And that reason is greed. They want to make all the money for themselves. They don't want you to get on the Amazon platform. They don't want more competition. They don't want to break bread. They don't want to share that money. They want you to go and continue working your 9 to 5 while they get on the Amazon and start getting some of that money and then pull up and, the car of your dreams. So you can be like, oh man, that's a lovely car. I would love to do that. And then when you ask them what they're doing, they don't tell you. They keep it a secret. But that's not how I roll. That's not my stilo. I'm here helping people on the ground with you to change your life where so few people are willing to do. Now, let me show you just some of my lifestyle over the past 8 years so you can now bring this all together before we actually get into some nuggets of how this whole operation actually works. So Hoover Dam, Guadalupe, Colombia, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, Las Vegas. This was back in like 2016. Medellin, Colombia, Senegal, Africa. As you see, I got a thing for motorcycles. I like penthouses. You can ask Philly Dom about that. If a penthouse ain't available, I'm not bougie. I'll settle for a nice Airbnb, but usually I just have a real nice villa or a penthouse. Or, if I can't find what I want immediately, then I'll just, find some good accommodations and then keep searching for what I want until I find it. This is me back in Atlanta when skydiving. This is me in Medellin, Colombia, and this is called parapente. And this has been one of my favorite excursions ever because you're actually in a cloud flying above the city, flying eye level with the clouds for an hour and a half. And it's the most exhilarating experience I've ever had. And your feet are literally just dangling. And you can see below in the valley, that's the entire valley of Medellin, Colombia. So Medellin, Colombia is built right in the valley of two mountains. And my only advice is if you're ever going to undertake this, make sure that you go on the warmest day possible, because at that altitude, it's extremely cold. Now, here I am at the top of Tres Cruces Mountain in Medellin, Colombia, getting my hike on. And at this elevation, man, it was tough on me. I'm in great shape, as you can see, still got a little six-pack at 50 years old. But, I had to take a break halfway up this mountain because that altitude was it was killing me. But once you made up to the top, they had the vendors up there. So you see I have a nice little fresh pineapple in my hand, getting rehydrated and re-energized. And when I wasn't traveling, I was back at home in the ATL. I was a season ticket holder to everything: the Braves, the Atlanta United, the Falcons, the Hawks. I was even going to the ladies' lingerie football league game. So if you've never been to one of those, I'm not even sure they exist anymore, but it would be women playing football, like arena style football, in lingerie, helmets and shoulder pads. That's pretty much all they had on, or bathing suits at the best. That's how I would describe it. And this used to be my little partner. He used to travel around with me and go to all my games, sporting events. And this was my Dominican girlfriend, Ani, and I bought us both motorcycles, and this was her. This is the one that she chose with the little gold trim. And I was kind of upset when I finally figured out hers was faster than mine. So I didn't like racing against her because she would eat me up. But she loved this thing, kept it clean, and knew how to ride it too. So after I taught her the basics, boom, she was off. But then she told me that she kind of learned the basics in high school, so I just had to give her a refresher. But, she looks real cool on it. She done put like a ponytail on her helmet and some little horns and, do a little feminine thing. And it just looks incredible when you see a woman, that fine on a bike. Every other 30 days back in the ATL before the pandemic, this used to be my place of refuge. It's called Spa Castle, and it's in Dallas, Texas. So I would jump on a plane every other month, fly to Dallas, Texas, and I would be here for 3 or 4 days, just getting all this water therapy, massages, eating good, built-in restaurants, manicures, massages. They even have a nap room. So you go to this special room and you lay down on these mats, and they have these special floors that are heated. And you lay down on the mat, and that heat coming up from the floor, boom, instantly you're asleep. They have They have like 6 different saunas of different temperatures and different paneling material. They have infrared saunas. They have indoor pool, outdoor pools. They have a gigantic full screens where you can watch the games. They have a poolside bar. I could just go on and on about this place. It's one of the things that I really just missed about the United States that I really can't find here. But yeah, it comes and goes. This is me in Medellin, Colombia for Halloween, celebrating. They know how to celebrate Halloween. They have the Day of the Dead festival thing that just goes hand in hand with the celebration of Halloween. All right, this is me in Costa Rica, whitewater rafting, and back in the ATL, indoor skydiving. And one of the best things about traveling the world is you get to meet some of the best people you've met in your entire life, because everybody's just sort of like on vacation. Everybody's sort of happy. Even when you meet people who are indigenous to where you're traveling to, they're usually just excited to meet somebody new who's not from, wherever they're from. And, me and Philly Dom were actually in Brazil for 3 whole months together. And, man, the amount of friends that we made could probably populate this whole page. So, it just goes to show that traveling has just a whole lot of perks. And so this is just more like a cruise, and back in Medellin and Mexico. So just me out traveling the world, having a good time. If you've never been to Cartagena, Colombia, make sure you put that on your bucket list. They have this place called Tortumo Volcano, where they walk you up these giant set of steps, and they lower you down in this mud pit, and they cover you in mud. And if you didn't know this, mud is buoyant, several times more buoyant than water. So you remain afloat in mud, and you don't have to tread water, but you can't tilt more than 15 degrees in any direction, because then you'll flop over. And unless you know how to center your gravity, you can't put yourself back upright. So when they put you down in this mud pit, they got people down there who know what they're doing to keep you afloat. Because if you lean forward and you fall flat on your face, you might drown in the mud because you don't know how to pick yourself back up. So I thought that was real interesting. I never forgot that. It was one of my favorite excursions. And then here I am, little penthouse in Cartagena, smoking a cohiba, rock climbing in Texas somewhere, Cumberland, Texas, something like that. Zip lining in Costa Rica, one of my favorite excursions too. This is a 2-hour zip line course in Costa Rica, and you're going from tree to tree through the jungle. And when you're looking down in the canopy of the jungle, you might get lucky and see like a black panther or other wild animals just down below, just doing their thing. And man, this is just an unforgettable experience. And they have these fire ants that are about the size of your thumb. And so you can't touch any of the trees, and you also have to be careful about where you're walking, because when these ants bite you, it feels like a bee is stinging you. All right, so here I am, horseback riding, 4-wheeling, Segway tour. This is Rock City in Tennessee. So as you can see, this is just all I do, just excursions. So when I was out in Las Vegas for my niece's wedding, I took a helicopter tour through the Grand Canyon, and the helicopter landed in the pit of the Grand Canyon. And when we all got out of the helicopter and the blade stopped spinning and all the noise stopped, it was complete deafening silence. It was so silent you could hear your heart beating in your ear. And I also rented this ZR1 Corvette with the red bucket seats, and I drove around Las Vegas all day long, every day, getting into a whole lot of trouble. And I was there for 10 days. So I arrived 2 or 3 days before my family, and then left 2 or 3 days after my family. So they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But when the helicopter landed in the pit of the Grand Canyon, you can still literally feel the pressure of that ancient ocean and that water filling up that canyon. And it still felt like you were kind of underwater, and there was absolutely no sound down there. So it was a surreal experience, but extremely hot, but a great tour if you're ever in Las Vegas. Only costs about $500-600, but it's something you'll never forget. Just flying through that canyon, and man, the helicopter is small in comparison to how gargantuan that canyon is. And these are two of my babies back in the ATL. These are Lincoln MKZ hybrids, two of my favorite cars on the planet. I call them my Michael Jacksons. They're identical. One is white, one is black, and they're both hybrids. So you just put gas in it. You don't have to plug them in. They're not plug-in hybrids. They have a combustible engine and they have an electrical engine. And as you can see on my dashboard, they get 575 miles per tank. So 40 miles per gallon. My mother lives in Fayetteville, North Carolina. On one tank of gas, I can fill it up in the ATL, and boom, 5 hours later, I'm in Fayetteville on one tank of gas. And they got the panoramic sunroof that opens all the way up. They both can parallel park themselves. Just press a button, take your hand off the steering wheel, and it just whips into the parallel parking space, perfect every single time. And as you can see, this is my little starter home. So I didn't get fancy. I didn't go out and buy $1 million crib. I kept it real simple. That's just me, you know. Besides just having 3 cars, I just like to keep it simple. So this is my third baby right here. This is the BMW i8 with the gull wing doors, super fast, and it's also a hybrid. And I'm planning on going home maybe this month or in October just to check on moms and check on my business. And I'm thinking about buying a 4th one. And it's going to be the Lincoln Aviator Black Edition and the Grand Touring. So if you don't know what that is, it's a Lincoln SUV, and that thing is crazy. I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but I'm definitely eyeing it now, just trying to find the right one with all the bells and whistles so I can add it to my collection. All right. And boom, this is where all the work went down when I really started mentoring people in the Dominican Republic. So I'm at the little villa, and you can see I got the 3 monitors set up on my computer. That's just an attachment that you attach to your laptop, and it gives you 3 screens. And man, I've probably literally trained probably 7, 8 people right here at that dining room table. And then probably about 60, 70 of you guys have been trained on this computer right here. This is a gaming laptop. I lost the charger to it, so I had to pull out my backup laptop, which is a MacBook Pro. But once I started using the MacBook Pro, I never went back to the gaming laptop, because then I realized how superior the MacBook Pro is to almost every laptop I've ever had. So, you know, I miss this place, you know, because I put in a lot of work here, but I'm on the bigger and better things. And this right here is just a complete walkthrough of that villa, so you can see the whole thing. So here it is. I think it was like 5,000 square feet. That's the living room right there. All right. That's the kitchen. They had white marble floors. That's the pool. And I like, because the pool was in the front of the yard instead of the back. So when you come to the front, that's a gazebo in the back. That's the massage room. That's the master bedroom. And those are the 2 guest rooms downstairs. So every bedroom had a king size bed, and it was just a great property. I had a great time living there, and you know, I'm gonna miss that place. All right, and this is how I actually got started. So this was my first product that I private labeled. They were a pair of nail clippers, and I didn't know anything about manufacturing nail clippers, but if you become one of my clients, I will share my secrets with you as to how to do it and how to do it effectively. I have a mastermind right now of 38 clients, and we meet every Tuesday and Thursday, and I walk them through how to get to this level and what to do at this level, how to negotiate with manufacturers, how to choose the right product. So again, you know, I don't skip any steps. I give you all the information that other gurus are unwilling to share, because I want my clients to be successful, because if you're successful, I'm successful, and vice versa. And then now the story of my nail clippers, I started off with 1,000 of them, right? And I designed them from the bottom up. And I'm not going to get into how I designed them, because that'll make this presentation a little too long. But long story short, you can see that they have a very different design, and they have that smiley face etched into them. Now, I didn't patent them or anything like that, and they now since been duplicated and copied many times over, and variations of them are out there. But my very first name for them was the W.E. Clips, and that's Wayne's Extraordinary Clippers. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to change the name to the Smiley Face Nail Clippers. And once I did that, they took off. And so I remember when they first debuted on Amazon, it was February the 5th. It was February of 2015. And I would wake up every morning, and the first thing I did was check my Amazon account. And right around, I would say 90 days in, I woke up and boom, I was making about $630 a day selling nail clippers. And if you do the math on that, that's about $18,000 in revenue, and that's about $12,000 in profit. And I was like, okay, boom, I'm on to something now, and I'm not going to stop here. And so my second product that I private label was these pair of oven gloves called the Pan Piper oven gloves. I designed everything from the gloves to the box. And so all I did was I went to Walmart, and I couldn't find what I was looking for there. So then I went to Home Depot, and I purchased a pair of grill gloves. And I looked at what was on the packaging, and I just copied what somebody else had already put on the packaging, and how they put pictures on the box and what they put on it. And I sent it over to my graphic designer and manufacturer. And next thing you know, I had my first product and the box that it came in, had everything designed. And then lo and behold, I didn't even get these up on Amazon and selling them really well before I got an email inside of my Amazon account, and somebody wanted to buy my nail clipper. Buy the oven gloves. And we worked out a nice little price, and I sold them the oven gloves. And I was like, okay, this is definitely the right business to be in. So not only can I sell almost any product on Amazon legitimately, but I can also manufacture my own products. And if somebody else likes them, I could then sell that brand and then start over. And I was like, man, I should have been doing this 20 years ago. All right. And so, happiness isn't something that you choose. It's something that we create. It's not something that just happens in your life. You have to create it. So as you can see in the picture below, the figure on the left is saying, where did you find that? I've been searching for it everywhere. And the picture, the dude on the right is just saying, I created it myself. And so that's what you have to do. You can't rely on your 9 to 5. That's not going to get you there. You can't rely on saving your money. That's not going to get you there. And if I were you, I would rely on investing, not less I was sitting up on Capitol Hill making laws, and I knew when the stock market was going to crash, and then I would have used the stock market on investing. But other than that, yeah, you have to get out here, man, and create your own happiness. You got to bet on yourself and take a chance by starting a business, but you got to do it correctly. Don't try to do it on your own. All right. And now all I do is hang out with other Amazon sellers. So, I like to hang out with like-minded people so we can continuously bounce ideas off of one another, work together, network, and private label products together, pool our money and resources together, share manufacturers, all that good stuff. And so this is what I do full time, every day, all day. So now we're going to take a short pause. We're going to open up for questions, and then we're going to dive back in and finish up where I'm going to actually show you exactly what arbitrage is, how much money you can really make, and how the whole system operates. All right, so let's go ahead and let me start scrolling through these
All right,
questions.
I'm gonna post them up for you.
Okay, perfect.
Do you want any particular order? Or just go from up to bottom. It doesn't matter.
Let's start at the top and just go down.
Okay, I'm going all the way up. The first one. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. This is a good one. First one. Okay, he
Let's
said, I've been studying the videos of Master Wayne, recording, and also studying how he certain, I guess, arbitrage,
yeah. Yeah, he
certain
says
arbitrage.
you've been studying my videos and recordings and also studying uh, arbitrage.
Yeah,
So I've heard this from a couple of clients who actually some of my mentees now. And what they've told me is like, yo, Master Wayne, I watch as many videos on you as I could find. And one guy even told me he was looking for, mistakes. He was looking for where I switched up the information or maybe said something different. But he was like, man, no matter how hard I searched, you kept it consistent. Everything was the same, exactly the same time. Even though I just go off the top of my head, I'm not reading from a script. It's just all from memory. So again, there's no fluff, no hype. If you sit down, you talk to me in person, I don't have to look at my phone or look at a notepad. I've done this now for 10 years. I can answer any question you have about Amazon or almost any question because sometimes Amazon rolls out these updates and they don't tell you they've even changed something until you find out a little bit later. But other than that, yeah, man, this is what happens when you just put in the work. You're gonna be proficient and you're gonna be an expert at what you do.
he said he one of your mentors, or Classy said she's one of your mentors. Um,
Okay, classy
mentees,
perspective.
one of your mentees.
One of his mentees and just got verified and approved. Okay. I don't know who Classy Perspective is unless they tell me their name, but
Yeah, real
I
government.
did have a new mentee sign on, Adrian or Jamal. It's got to be Adrian or Jamal. That's my guess. All right. And Willie Baker is Wayne, does Amazon have any restrictions on adult toys? The answer is yes. They have restrictions on adult toys, some clothing, jewelry, automotive parts, um, a couple of brands that are just restricted. Anything that's hazmat is restricted. Um, so as a new seller, there's going to be quite a few things that you can't sell, but that's not a problem because there's tens of millions of other products that you will be able to sell. But when you become one of my mentees, again, it doesn't matter what you want to sell. I can show you how to get ungated for anything, any brand, anything. Now, with hazmat, there is a waiting list. So if you want to get ungated to sell hazmat products, you do have to go through that waiting list process. All right. But yeah, Willie Baker, you can definitely sell adult toys, but you have to get around the restrictions. But I can help you with that. All right. And how do you handle taxes? All right. So we have an in-house specialist. So at the end of the year, Amazon gives you a 1099. I have a tax professional who's also our business professional who can also help you set up your LLC, also help you get business funding. So full service. So at the end of the year, Amazon will remit you a 1099. It'll have all your information on there. How many products you sold, how much inventory you have. And here's the kicker. You're going to have a LLC when you get started, or you can get started if you don't have one, and then switch it over once you get your LLC formed. But here's the best part. Let's say you purchase $10,000 worth of inventory between now and next year. Between the you have the time you have to submit your taxes, no problem. Let's say you don't sell. Let's say you only sell $4,000 of that $10,000 worth of inventory, no problem. So The inventory that you don't sell, you get to write that off as an inventory loss. And the inventory that you did sell, you also get to write that off as a business expense. So if you drive across the state lines and get on a plane and fly to Las Vegas and have a business meeting with somebody else regarding Amazon business, that's a tax write-off. If you're going to be utilizing 1,500 square feet of your space in your home as an office, that's a business write-off. When you become one of my mentees, I give you a list of complete Amazon business write-offs. And some of them you probably didn't even know that you can exist. But even more, I'm gonna introduce you to life insurance benefits and death insurance benefits for life insurance. So a lot of people know about the death insurance benefits of life insurance, but they don't know about the life insurance benefits of life insurance. And so that has a whole bigger meaning behind it. And when you become one of my mentees, I will be sharing that information with you so you'll know exactly how to use that correctly, like the wealthy have been doing for generations.
Okay. Next one is, hold on. We got a good question. Oh, here it go, right here. Boom. AK.
Okay. What's the average gross margin percentage for your clients? So there's no such thing. Each client is different. You can run your business however you see fit. So the reason why you can't calculate the average gross percentage margin for the clients is that some clients have an ROI with the product, might be bringing a return on investment of 50%. One client might have a product that's bringing in a return on investment of 30%. But maybe the client that's pulling in 30% has the higher profit margin because their product is more expensive, or maybe their product sells faster. So again, there's too many variables to calculate that. And also it could be maybe the weight of the product. If the higher the weight, the more Amazon fees you have to pay. So you might be selling something that brings in more profit, but because of the weight, you have to pay a higher percentage back to Amazon. So there's just too many variations of data to calculate the average percentage margin for every client. But that's an excellent question, AK Johnson. Excellent question, though.
I'm still looking. Hold on. Here's another one. He asked you another one.
Okay. What's the point of the vehicles if you travel 90% of the time? Why not invest in appreciating assets for cash flow? Well, I have a much better way to invest. I'm not going to just put that information out here into the public, but I teach to all my clients. So it would appear that, you're still under the influence that, vehicles, well, they do depreciate in value, but yeah, there's something that you need to know. Matter of fact, just go ahead and when you're finished with this presentation, go ahead and Google infinite banking. And that's going to point you into what I'm talking about. So I've shared this with Philly Dom. He knows what I'm talking about. My clients who are on, they know what I'm talking about. And, I could go into details and explain exactly what I'm speaking about. But again, I just got to save that for another day and another time because this presentation would just start to drag on. And I know, it's the evening for you guys, but I'm 11 hours ahead. So it's the morning for me. So I'm just getting the day started where I know your guys, your day is winding down. But yeah, when you have money, you got to spend it, right? So, I love cars. I still want to keep my assets set up in the United States, just like I, living there full time, because I might decide to come home for a couple of months and then bounce back out. I still love the United States. Great infrastructure. I like getting on the highway and you let my car drive for me and just sitting back relaxing. So there's a lot of great things about the US. Not a fan of the mass shootings and the political turmoil and all that crazy stuff, and the racism, and I'm not a fan of none of that. But here, in other parts of the world, you rarely see any of those things. So you know, that's why I keep everything in the United States intact with the vehicles, the houses, and stuff like that. But you know, I'm looking for property right now in Thailand, for a nice little villa. If I can find what I want that's already freestanding, then that's be perfect. But if I can't, then I'm gonna have something built from the ground up. But great question, AK. But if you hit me up personally, man, I'll talk to you personally about that and actually put you up on game, because I know you're unaware of this as of right now, but it's something that could change your life, the whole trajectory of not only your life, but if you got kids, generational wealth to your children, if you're married. I don't know your situation, but yeah, I can almost guarantee that if you don't have this knowledge, you're doing it wrong. All right. You ready to jump back in the presentation, Philly?
All right, unless you want to answer any more questions, you get them later.
Yeah, let's answer two more, and then I'll jump back in. All right. Is it easier to outsource products from other sellers or trying to find your own products? All right. So it's twofold, classic perspective. The first thing I'm going to teach you how to do is not have to look for products at all. Every single day, Monday through Friday, you're going to have 15 products delivered to you that are all profitable. All of them you'll be able to sell, and all you have to do is choose which one you want based on return on investment, speed of sales, and profit. And you just make the decision. And next, I'm going to show you how to find your own products with software, how to use that software, how to find products within the price range that you want, within the category that you want. So either way, you will never have to worry about having more than enough products to sell. So that part is taken care of. Now, once you're ready for the advanced stages, I'm going to show you how to reverse analyze some of the biggest sellers on Amazon and cherry pick their best-selling products. So again, you'll never ever be at a loss for having products at your fingertips to sell. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to overwhelm you with products. And so you'll probably just have to put those extra products in a spreadsheet and come back to them later. And then last but not least, if that wasn't enough, I'm going to also connect you with the VA who is currently working with several of my clients, and they will run your entire Amazon business for you. A whole team of VAs to run your business for you. So they'll get you from 0 all the way up to 10,000. And if you want to go further, they will. You just say, hey, let's start scaling up. Here's more money. Let's just start ramping things up, and boom. Now your business is growing and you're reaping the rewards, but you're paying them to do all the work. And, you won't even have to pay them, no more than a decent split, or you can work out a monthly fee. So, whatever you decide to negotiate, then, that's your business. But yeah, you would not be at a loss for products. All right, next question. All right. AK Johnson is asking if you still plan to sell that inventory. You can't write it off. You have to match to revenue. All right. So I think you mean, yeah, your Amazon inventory. Yeah, if you still plan. Yeah. So Amazon gives you 6 months to sell your inventory. So if you don't sell your inventory in 6 months, then you have to actually have that inventory disposed of, sent back to prep and ship, or sent back to your physical home address. So, either way, it'd be a loss that you could write off on your taxes. And that's the advantage of having an LLC. So even if you spend money on it, whether you sell it or not, that's still a tax write-off. You actually, your inventory is a tax write-off. And then the inventory loss that you don't sell is a whole nother tax write-off and an expense. So it's a win-win situation either way. But again, that just comes with running the business and learning the nuances to what you can write off and how you can structure your business. All right. Tony is saying, I'm listening while I point. I'm listening while I paint.
Paint, yeah.
Yeah. Master Wayne, much respect. Dom told me a lot about you. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Philly Dom has known me now for about a year and a half. And, we hung out together in my penthouse in Brazil, man, for 3 months and partied and worked together and had a good time. So he knows me like a brother. Matter of fact, I consider him a brother now. So
yes, indeed. Yeah.
Anytime you spend that much time with a person, and y'all, I connected with Philly in Rio when I got to Rio, but I met him in Sosua, Dominican Republic, and he was like, "Yo, I'm in Brazil." I was like, "Okay, wait for me. I'm coming to Brazil. I'm on a plane smoking right there now, so stay there." And he had been there for like 6 months. I was like, when I get there, I want you to introduce me to a few people, show me the lay of the land, and that's what he did. And so that's how we, hung out in Rio, and then we stayed in Rio for about a month, and then we jumped on a plane and we flew to Salvador Bahia, and then we stayed there for 3 months, and then Philly finally went home, picked up his son, and came home to Philly. So yeah. All right. So you ready to jump back in there?
Okay. All right.
All right. So there's only 4 kinds of people in life. The first type of person has no job and they have plenty of time. But when you have no money, you don't really have any time to travel, but all you have is time. So, when you're unemployed, you got plenty of time, but you don't have the resource to travel, and you definitely don't have any money. The next person is the one who has the 9 to 5. That's probably most of you on this call right now. You spend all your time on that job slaving, being paid pennies for what you're really worth, being undervalued, probably overworked also, and you don't have the time and that you really need to travel to release and to rest and to feel good and good staycation. But when you have a job, you definitely have money coming in, even though most people are probably robbing Peter to pay Paul. When you're employed, that's still a good thing. Now there's also the individual who's self-employed, and again, there's like they're in the same bucket with the person who has a 9 to 5. They don't have a lot of time. And actually, self-employed people probably spend more time working on their businesses than people do at their 9 to 5. But self-employed individuals do have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to traveling. And of course, they may make a little bit more money than the average person on a 9 to 5. But we want to get you to the 4th level. The 4th level is becoming a business owner. So that's what myself and my mentees are. We're not self-employed individuals. We're business owners. We end up having virtual assistants on employees run our entire businesses for us. And then that leaves us all the time we need, all the money we need. And then, of course, we can travel as much as we want. Sort of like Philly Dom and I was doing in Brazil, I was doing in Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Africa, Bermuda, Jamaica, Bahamas, man, I can't. I've been so many places. I done lost track. Like since I've been here in Thailand, I've been to Pattaya. I jumped on a plane. I went to Cambodia. I jumped on another plane one day. I went to Tokyo. So I'd like to do little day trips around Asia just to so I can experience the whole of the entire country instead of just saying, yeah, I've been to Thailand or I've been to Asia. Now I want to go all around Asia. So within the next couple of weeks or months, if I don't go home to the United States, I'm gonna go to the Maldives. I'm gonna go to Indonesia. Might even go to the Philippines and Vietnam. So it has its perks. Now, 90% of all startups fail. Now, this isn't my statistics. This is the statistics from the I forgot where I got this from. According to all industries, startup failures become rate. Yeah, I got this from Google, but I forgot exactly. It came from a source called MBroker, but they're just displaying the statistics. But most of you actually already know this just from the Small Business Administration. The Small Business Administration sort of discloses that, out of all businesses, 90% fail within the first 2 years. So the same is true for, running a business online. The crossover is almost exactly the same. And so, just to give you a little background, 51% of the planet now shops on Amazon. So if you didn't know that, that is a staggering number in statistics. 51% of the planet shops on Amazon. And I pulled this up. This was like a year ago. So this is like a year old. So it's probably 52% of the planet now, or maybe even more. Now, Walmart, Home Depot, Costco, CVS, Target, Lowe's, Walgreens, Kroger, and Best Buy. These are the 9 largest retailers in the United States, worth about $1.07 trillion. And you would think that, that's a colossal amount of money and wealth. But what you didn't know is that Amazon is larger than all 9 of those retailers put together. So that's what makes Amazon such a powerful resource when it comes to operating a business and then, of course, growing your business. So that gives you the capacity to reach customers in 185 countries. And by the way, there are only like 195 countries in the world. So, that when you talk about domination, the domination is just incredible. Now, Amazon gives you access to 100 plus fulfillment centers around the world, 15 global sorting centers. And, this helps you grow globally. So you're going to start off selling in the United States, and then you'll instantly be able to expand into Canada and Mexico. So as soon as you get up and operational, I'll have you selling in all of North America, United States, Canada, and Mexico. Now, let's get into how this actually works. So what I'm going to teach you is how to sit right at your laptop or right on your phone, just like you are right now. And just like you shopped and bought things on your phone a million times before, this is how you're going to do it. But you're going to use software, and the software is going to have all of these retailers scanned for products, and then match those up with what sells on Amazon. And so let's say if you found this right here at Target, and this actually came from Target. So this is a Disney monster toy. You can pick this up at Target at $16.99 when I created this screenshot. All right. Then you send it into Amazon, and guess what? On Amazon, it retails for $52.98. So when you do the math on that, and Amazon takes out their 15% and you pay for all your expenses, your profit is going to be $22.71. Your return on investment, 133%. Right here it tells you how many people that you'll be going up against. So your competition in layman's terms. So as you can see, when I posted this, there was only 3 people selling this. 2 people were selling it for $44.98, and the third person was selling it for $52.98. And right here, there's 45 in the middle between the 111 and the 140, that 45 means it's selling 45 times per month. So each one of these sellers could sell 15 of these, and rank in 15 sales per month. But as you can see, their stock level between all three of them, they only have 8 in stock. So that means after they sell all 8 of these, that's it. It'll be out of stock. So nobody will be able to even purchase this from Amazon until somebody sends in more inventory. So if you were actually selling this and you had 30 in stock, then of course these 3 sellers will go out of stock, and then boom, you'd be the only person selling this, and you better sell all 30 of yours. And 30 times 22, that's like $600 profit off of a Disney monster toy. And so here's a breakdown. So you buy it for $16.99, you send it into Amazon, and Amazon will attempt to sell it for $52.98. All right. Amazon will then, once it sells, they'll take out their fee of $13.14. That's going to be 15% of the sale price. And then Amazon will say, okay, you got $39.84 cash left over. And then they will directly deposit that money into your bank account every 2 weeks. And so if you're doing the math, you know that you paid $16.99 for it. And then your profit is $22.85. So that means that when Amazon directly deposit that $39.84, you got the money for the product back. You will reimburse what you paid for the product. That happens every single time. And then you got $22 profit on top of that. So you take this $16.99 and you go buy another one. You take this $22.85 and you go to Outback Steakhouse and get yourself a nice filet mignon, lobster tail, and a fully loaded baked potato and an iced tea to wash it down, and you celebrate your success. Here's another one of my best-selling products from back in the day. It probably still exists right now, selling on Amazon. You can go check it if you want. But I used to buy this from a retailer called Joanne. I'm going to give you the name of the retailer. That's how transparent I am. It was selling for $119. Let's just call that $120. All right. So what I do, I buy 5 of them. I send them into Amazon where they're selling for $259. So after I sell it, that's a profit of $77.01 and a return on investment of 66% on my money. And so the breakdown is after I sold all 5, I would make $385. So it would literally take me 5 minutes to go over to Joanne.com, the retailer, put 5 of these in my shopping cart, purchase them, send them to what's called a prep and ship company so they can go ahead and do what they're supposed to do with the product, and then send it into Amazon. And when it arrives at Amazon, boom, it sells. I make $385. So, I could do this right now, and it would literally take me 5 minutes tops to do the whole process. So in 5 minutes, I can make $385. Now, tomorrow, most of you will be going to work for somebody else to make them rich for 8 hours a day. And most of you won't be making $385 after working 8 hours a day, but you're literally watching me show you how to do the same thing in just 5 minutes. And I've done this over and over again with multiple clients. Now look at this. This is from Home Depot. It's a digital electric smoker, all right? I used to pay $187 for this. And I would purchase 8 at a time from Home Depot and then send it into Amazon where it would retail for $499. After I sold all 8, my profit would be $135 a piece. And then my return on investment would be 72%. And check this out. Boom. Here's a full breakdown. So I would buy 8 for $187.31. That would cost me $1,498.48. After I sell all 8 for $499, I would make $3,999.92. Amazon would take their 15%, which would be $1,416.25. Then Amazon would direct deposit straight to my bank account $2,583.67. And remember, I paid $1,498 for it, right? For all 8. So I get reimbursed that money back as part of my profit. And then my profit would be $1,000. And so when I found this product, I would do this every single day. So now that's how you get to making $1,000 a day. That's how you get yourself to $30,000 a month. And you don't have to do it this way with just one product. You can do this with, 5 products that sell, faster, or sell for a smaller price, but you just sell more. So just different ways to do this. And so when I get my clients started, the first thing I do is, I take you to elementary school first. And I call elementary school the kiddie pool, because this is where you're going to find the most amount of competition. This is where you're going to be learning. This is where I'm going to help you fix the mistakes that you make and become a better seller. And at the kiddie pool level, it's not even about making a whole lot of money. It's one, just showing Amazon that you're that you're a good seller. 2, that you're serious about selling on Amazon. And 3, you can keep Amazon sellers happy. And once you know what you're doing, I'm going to give you a cap and gown and a graduation celebration. And we're going to send you over to the adult pool, where there's going to be music, bikinis, bathing suits, alcohol, loud music, and good times, and gazebos, and a DJ. All right. So again, you're going to get your cap and gown. And now I'm going to introduce you to Amazon wholesale, Amazon resale, and Amazon private label. And that's where the game changes for you. That's where you start to scale up. So here's an example of a resale product. So this is the product that a manufacturer is selling on Amazon. And right now they're out of stock. As you can see, nobody's even in stock with this product. But look how many times a month this product sells. It's on average over 1,200 times a month. I see 1,300 there, 1,300 there, 1,200 in October, 1,300 in June, 1,200 in May, and 1,360 times in March. And again, I'm going to show you how to locate this manufacturer, purchase this product, and send it in Amazon. And so if the manufacturer goes out of stock, then you'll be the backup, and you'll reap all of these sales and all of that reward. And your profit is $15.81. So if you want to take out a calculator and say, okay, you know what? If I was the only person in stock, and for the entire month of February, and I sold 1,300 units, how much money would I make? So all you have to do is take 1,581 and multiply that by 1,300. So let's say 1,581, and then let's multiply that by 1,318, and boom, that right there, with just one product that you're reselling, would net you $20,000. And so that's how powerful this business becomes as you start to scale up and go to bigger levels. So, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to how to get started, and then how to scale up. And like I told you earlier, I now have 38 of my clients at the boss level who are in my mastermind groups. And every Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m., I walk them through exactly how to find products like that with ease. Multiple products. I mean, thousands of them. I mean, so many that it's hard to choose which one that you want, because there's so many products. It's overload. But that's how easy it is when you graduate to the boss level. All right. And so here's another one. Now, I know most of you know Uno. Most of us grew up on Uno. Maybe depending on how old you are, maybe not so much nowadays, but I grew up on Uno like most of you did. And as you can see, there are 21 sellers down here at the bottom right. You can see there's 21 sellers. right? 6 FBA sellers and 15 FBM sellers. And when you look at this, you can see that it sells 1,189 times a month. Right here, the monthly sales, 1,189, right? And you divide that by the 21 sellers on this listing, and that means that if each seller got an equal distribution of sales, each seller would get 56 sales. And then your profit should be about $8.18. And that's about $457 in profit selling Uno on Amazon. If you have a daughter or a niece or a goddaughter or a female cousin, or you got friends with daughters or something like that, here's a Disney Sleeping Beauty and Snow White set where you could pull these different cardboard dresses off and interchange their clothes and outfits and mix and match. All right, so this is Disney. Now you have to get authorization to sell Disney, but I can show you how to do that with no problem. You want to sell Disney? No problem. You want to sell Marvel? No problem. You want to sell DC? No problem. Tonka trucks, Lego? No problem. I'm going to show you how to get it done. Now you can see here, again, this is selling just like the last product, over 1,200 times per month on average. And you can see here, just 2 sellers. Amazon is selling this. That's the orange 5. They have 5 in stock. And then there's 1 FBM seller right now on it. And they have 76 in stock. And so again, if you were to join this, man, you could probably order 500 of these. And if you were to order 500 of these at your profit margin, that's $2,400 a month off of 1 Disney toy. What if you had 17 Disney toys or 30 Disney toys all doing the same thing? All right, so here's my formula. 1, you always have to know whether or not something is profitable. So that's the first thing I teach you, to know whether or not it's profitable. Second, to know what the return on investment is going to be. 3, how many FBA sellers are you going up against? Because that's your competition. How many merchant sellers are you going up against? That's important, but that's not your competition. 5, how much inventory does your competition have? Knowing this can give you a competitive advantage, because that way you'll be like, okay, they might be going out of stock, and they might be out of stock by the time my product arrives at Amazon. All right. 6 is your BSR, bestseller rank. Tells you how fast or how slow something sells just based on its certain rank. 7, are you eligible to even sell it? 8, how many times is it selling per month? And 9, can you sell this internationally? And 10, I'm going to be teaching you other trade secrets along the way to help you become an even better seller. All right, so here's a review. First, we source products. We buy at a low price. We ship those items into Prep and Ship, and Prep and Ship then ships the items into Amazon. We sell it at a higher price of retail on Amazon. We pocket the difference, and then we rinse and repeat. And we can do this, come closer, with an unlimited amount of products. Unlimited, rinse and repeat. Just keep doing it and make as much money as you need. All right, so 1, I'm going to show you how to properly register and set up your Amazon account if you become my mentee. 2, how to start off selling in the United States, but expand into 11 countries or more around the globe. And 3, how to hit the ground running with a virtual assistant. And you can see the estimated traffic for every single marketplace is just astronomical. And if you exclude the United States, Canada, and the UK, these other countries is literally like you snatching bags of candy from children. This is nothing nobody would be able to do. It'll be that easy. All right, so I'm in this Facebook group. It's called Arbitrage Income, Amazon FBA Wholesale Online Retail Arbitrage. And somebody posted this in there, and it was like, my best friend asked me for my Amazon storefront name, because they were curious and interested to see what I sell on Amazon. I gave it to him thinking nothing of it. Now he wants to open up an Amazon account selling my exact same ASINs. So my advice to you as the seller is do not give out your Amazon storefront name to anybody, even if it's your family or your friend. People are lazy. They sometimes have no morals and they want to piggyback off your success. So again, let's take this advice in stride. And it's not necessary for you to share your Amazon account with anybody. And never ask anybody to go purchase anything from your Amazon store. You won't have to do that. This is not you building a website and then asking everybody that you know, everybody that you've ever met to go and buy something from you. You don't have to do that. Amazon's going to give you free customers for life. All you have to do is build it. They will come and they will buy. Amazon will make sure of that. And if you haven't figured it out, listen, this is digital real estate. You know, I've known this for years now. And I've known this because I used to have a career in real estate with Caldwell Banker. You know, I did buying and selling. And this is the new digital realm of real estate. So, you know, how many buy buttons do you own on the internet right now? You know, buy button is how many people can go to a website and you have a product right on that website where they could press the buy button and next thing you know, you get credited for that purchase. And that's what I mean by digital real estate. You got to start expanding your portfolio. And Amazon is just a great way because they give you free traffic. And here's a sign of things to come, especially with inflation the way it is. And we're already in a sort of like a slow depression. And these are all the retail stores that are closing because retail is dying, man. People are just finding it more convenient to shop online where they can sell, where they can find just about everything they want. You can probably walk into all 6 of these stores and not find anything that you want. Or if you do find something that you want, maybe it's out of stock. Maybe they don't have your size. You know, maybe it's not exactly what you're looking for. The design is different. But when you start shopping online, you can find anything. That's the advantage. Now, I like to be transparent again and show you that I like to do my research and homework. And I call it reconnaissance. And this is a company called Automation Alliance. And Alliance Automation is going to charge you $18,000 to set you up with an Amazon account. And they'll probably also try to get you to set up a Walmart account too, but they're going to double charge you for that. So, you know, this is something that you want to keep in mind if you decide that this is going to be the business for you. You don't want to spend $18,000 to have these people set this up for you because that's way too much money. All right. Next is another company called Amazon Automation. All right. And they're going to charge you $15,000 to set up your Amazon account, but you're going to also have to make a minimum capital contribution of $50,000. I mean, where they do that at, right? So last but not least, they also they're only going to pay you 2% of whatever you make per month. So, you know, you're really working for them instead of working for yourself or having your business work for you. So this isn't something that you want to do. So this is just a warning for you guys to heed. Don't try to do this the easy way by yourself, and don't overpay companies like these to have it done for you. All right. And here's one of the VAs. And the VAs could actually help build your Amazon business for you. And as you can see, you have to think about it because some of them do want to take 50% of your profits, but they will do all the work. So if that's an even fair deal for you, then you'll just let them know how you like to proceed. And now, if you're a cheapskate or you think you're smarter than everybody else, or you're vain or egotistical, and you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I can learn this myself. Well, no problem. I want you to go over to Udemy that you see on the screen, udemy.com, and pick up one of these 3 courses right here for $119. And then call me on Monday morning and let me know how far you got. and you probably would have given up and threw your computer out the window. So again, don't try to cut any corners. Don't try to do anything that you're going to regret. Just go about this the right way and have somebody teach you the ropes that's already been there, done that, know what they're doing, and they're expert at it. And, got people who will give you good reviews and let you know, I know my stuff. And so, what does Master Wayne charge for his mentorship? Well, I don't charge anywhere near 18,000 or 15,000. I have one of the lowest price on the internet. And so for Plan A, it's a one-time investment of $2,500. All right. And for a one-time investment of $2,500, I take a 15% equity stake in your Amazon business into perpetuity. So every 2 weeks when Amazon pays you out, you give me that 15% kickback. This right here ensures that I give you ongoing consultations, and your success is my success and vice versa. That way, the more money you make, the more money I make. So that way I have a vested interest in making sure you make as much money as possible. And last but not least, I have Plan B, which is a one-time investment of $7,500. Now, this is the VIP plan, because for that one-time investment of $7,500, you get to keep 100% of your profits. I don't take an equity stake in your business. You keep 100% of everything. And that also comes with my Amazon book publishing course for free. And if you've been following Philly Dom, or you know Philly, he's now got his third book up and on Amazon. And now he's working on his fourth. So he's just crushing it. And he's taking no prisoners. And if you're worried about the total cost, no problem. Master Wayne has payment plans. So I have the payment plan for Plan A. It's $499 a month for 6 months. So with interest, that ends up being $3,000 a month instead of $2,500 one time altogether. And for Plan B, it's a payment plan of $1,333 a month for 6 months, and your total cost ends up being $8,000. All right, so whether or not you want to pay for all at once, or you want to do a payment plan and pay a little bit more after the interest is factored in, that's up to you. But again, I need to reiterate and emphasize, I've already filled 98% of my mentor spots. There's only 2 spots left. That's it. So, when I start going through my messages, I'm going to go in the order of time. And so if you responded at, what time is it? At 10:52 and somebody else came in at 10:53, then you're going to beat the person who came in at 10:53 and say, hey, I'm ready to get started. What do I need? Where do I make my payment? So it's just that simple. Now, this is full service. So not only will I be teaching you how to properly run an Amazon business and succeed, but you're going to also be setting up an LLC, getting an EIN number from the IRS, get a business license, a business bank account. I'll help you get a reseller's permit, and then you're going to make sure you have a business address and business phone number and a business website, and then register your business with Dun & Bradstreet. Now you are an official business entity. All right, you can do business and commerce with other businesses like Disney, Mattel, Lego, G.I. Joe, Wonder Woman, whomever you could think of, Tonka truck, anybody. All right, and here are your monthly expenses. So the prep and ship company that we use, one-time investment of $49. 5 softwares, when you add them all up, plus your Amazon seller account, your expenses every single month should come up to about $377 a month. That's it. $377 a month for operating a global e-commerce business, and yet your operating expenses is less than your car note, or less than most people's car note. No brick and mortar store is needed. You can set yourself up with a virtual business address, so you don't have to pay retail, lease, or rent space, and you don't have to worry about foot traffic and getting customers into your store. None of that. And here's a summary. So first, I'm gonna walk you through the application process to help you become an Amazon seller. Two, I'm gonna help you format your Amazon account for your Amazon FBA business model. Three, register you for the 5 softwares and then sync those softwares up to your Amazon account. Add you to the WhatsApp group and have everybody welcome you in. Orientate you to Seller Central and the softwares that you registered for. Start training you on how to research and analyze all your products, and set up and format your Prep and Ship spreadsheet so you'll know what products you've sent into Prep and Ship and which products are on the way into Amazon. How to use cashback extensions, coupons, and cashback credit cards to get even more money back before you even spend any money. And 10, how to graduate, get your cap and gown, and move into the wholesale and manufacturing game. And for my Amazon book publishing course, for those who decide to go with Plan B, then I'm going to teach you what Amazon publishing is, how to do it correctly, why you should start publishing books. I mean, it's sort of a no-brainer. You're going to get paid off those books for the rest of your life, but you only do the work once. And how much money you can make and how long it'll take you to start earning, and what are your startup costs or your true expenses, and will you own the publishing rights and royalties, and for how long. All right, so I'm going to answer all those questions. And if you were to choose Plan A and you still want the Amazon publishing course, it's $897 separately of the 2,500. But if you came in with Plan B, then this would be included in Plan B at no extra charge. So it's an upgrade. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. We're going to open it back up for questions before we close out. Again, I'm Master Wayne, aka Wayne McShay. There's my email address and my WhatsApp and my Instagram. If you want to contact me, the best way to do it is just to add me to WhatsApp and then send me a message or a text, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I'm able to check my phone. All right, Philly, let's open it up to some questions, and let's go ahead and wrap it up. All right. Philly Don must have stepped away. So I'm going to just go through here and see if I can find some of the questions. All right. So AK Johnson says, right on, PD. Seems like gross margin is 30-40% on this example of 4,600 income and 1,800 take home for the coloring books. Okay. Let's see. Another one. That's information. My feet staying on the ground. Okay. I'm not floating over Columbia, not ziplining through the jungle. Yeah, man, you got to be ready for that, Willie. I mean, it's a thrilling excursion, but you definitely got to be ready for it. All right. Jalen Jameson is asking Philly to share that information. Can you share that information now? Yeah, Philly, can you go ahead and bring up the questions? Miss Cuts, what's going on? Yeah, Marilyn is another one of my clients, and she just finished her journal, and it is beautiful. Let me see if I can actually pull it up so you guys can see it. She did a fantastic job. So I started helping Marilyn a couple of months ago, and she stuck in there. And then I sent her over to my GOAT of all time, and that was so I don't know if you guys can see my screen still, but if I'm still sharing, but I'm on my WhatsApp, and yeah, this is Marilyn's journal. I don't think you guys can see it, but yeah, she did a phenomenal job on it. All right, how much do your clients pay to you for your mentoring? All right, Jalen Jameson. So the plan A is a one-time investment of 2,500, and then I take a 15% equity stake in your business. So that means every 2 weeks, when Amazon starts to pay you out, and you break that $100 threshold, then you'll just send me over a 15% kickback of your profits, and you'll do that every 2 weeks, and that lasts into perpetuity. Now, if you're the bona fide entrepreneur and you want to keep all your money, then you can go with Plan B, which is the one-time investment of 7,500, and you keep 100% of everything at that point. I take nothing, and you also get free bonus access, VIP style, to the Amazon book publishing course. So win-win situation. Free shipping to Amazon and all your examples of products you purchase from other distributors. Yeah, for the most part. So, AK Johnson, when you're deciding on what product you're going to purchase for the day, or what products you might be purchasing, you're going to be able to see whether or not that particular retailer offers free shipping. Most of them do offer free shipping. There are a handful that don't, but you'll make up that difference with cash back, coupon codes, and then cash back credit cards. But you'll definitely know what the shipping is going to be. And sometimes you can get free shipping just by, buying more items. So it might say, okay, free shipping over $35. So you just make sure you buy over $35. And again, you qualify for free shipping. Yeah. But AK, I see, man, you got some good questions, man. You've either, been thinking about doing this business, or you've I would say you may have even done it before, or you're just serious and this is something that you want to get into to create financial freedom. And, I'm going to say this. In my experience, it doesn't come down to the money. All it comes down to is this gives you freedom. And so that's why you hear me say a lot of times financial freedom, because that's what it gives you. Money is just a resource. It's a tool. But, what we all really want, the money is nice, but what we all really desire at the end of the day is to be able to do what we want to do with our time. Like, who wants to wake up to an alarm clock every single morning and then get into your car and commute through crazy traffic for an hour? Nobody, right? Go deal with coworkers that you can't stand. Go see a coworker get promoted over you who's inferior to you and not even half as smart as you. And that list of things go on and on and on and on. You could be doing exactly what I'm doing every single day. I sleep 10 hours a day. I get up, never wake up to I woke up to an alarm clock this morning just so I can get up and give you guys this presentation. But afterwards, I'm going to get back into bed. So, that's the convenience of having freedom through finances. All right, 15% profit every 2 weeks. Yeah, Jalen. So when Amazon pays you out, then you'll have we'll both have the permissions to see what your payout is, and then we just do the mathematical calculation on that, and you can cash at me, PayPal me, Zelle me, whatever 15% of your profits are. And so I'm going to be riding you like a triple crown stallion all the way to the finish line to ensure that you make the most amount of money possible. Because again, if I can get you to making $100,000 a month, then that's going to be $15,000 a month for me as a split. All right. So this gives me a vested interest in making sure I get you on the Zoom calls. I answer all your questions and texts, and keep you motivated, and get you scaled up to the mastermind group, so you can start growing your business and making more money in private labeling products and arbitraging, and signing up for the Amazon Associates, and how to build separate websites and what products to put in there. I'm going to be teaching you so much it'll make your head spin, but you're going to be making life-changing money in the process. So yes, 15% of your profits every 2 weeks when Amazon pays you. And that's how I'm able to keep my price so affordable. Earlier, I showed you other companies who do what I do. And both of those, one company charges $18,000 and the other one charges $15,000, whereas I only charge $2,500 at the very lowest price point. But that kickback, ends up compensation for keeping the price that low. But if you don't want to share any of that revenue and you want to keep 100% of your profits, then yeah, the VIP plan B exclusive plan is the plan for you in order to maintain 100% equity and all your profits.
I'm still looking to see if there's any more we missed. Trying to see if we missed anything.
Yeah.
I know somebody asked about the nail clippers. Was that your invention with the nail clippers, that you the one that came up with it? I know, yeah. I think it was AK that asked that.
Yeah. Yeah, AK, I came up with that design and everything. I didn't know anything about the nail clippers, but just a tidbit of information. I went to Amazon one day back in 2013, and I read all the negative reviews of the best-selling nail clippers on Amazon. And when I was done, I had compiled a spreadsheet of what every customer didn't like about the current nail clippers on Amazon. And I compiled all that information together and was like, okay, I need to throw this out. I need to add this. I need to do this and do that, until I had what I thought was the perfect pair of nail clippers. I made them out of surgical grade stainless steel, the same thing that they use in emergency rooms as scalpels, so that way they won't rust. I made the handle, I counterbalanced the handle, so if you got arthritis, carpal tunnel syndrome, or just weak elderly hands, you still be able to press that level and clip the toughest nails with ease, because the handle is counterbalanced to the weight. And then I flared out the handle and put grooves in it so the nail clippers wouldn't be prone to slip out your hands like the small ones do. And last but not least, I gave them that whimsical smiley face and had the manufacturer laser etch it in there. And boom, next thing you know, I was on my way. So, that's how I did it. Okay. All right. Can you give the steps to sell products on Amazon? Yeah. So the first step is you need to find products to sell. So for my mentees, I actually, provide them with products to sell, 15 every day, Monday through Friday. Then I show you how to find other products in addition to that in any price point, in any category. And then what to do with those products once you purchase them, because you don't want to have them sent to your house, because then your house will be full of products from Amazon. And so then, once you purchase those products and ship them into Amazon, how to do that correctly. How do they need to be boxed? What products can you send in certain times of the year? Like, for instance, from April to August, you can't ship anything into Amazon that's going to melt. So no ice cream, no chocolate. But there is a way around that. And again, that's something that I could teach you. So again, I'm full service. After 10 years of doing this, there's probably not many other people on the planet who knows as much about Amazon as I do. And so this is why my clients love me. This is why they call me Master Wayne, because I've mastered this whole process. So, usually my clients, have questions for me every single day, and I have them all in one big group, and I can answer all the questions. And, A lot of times we have conversations, post different content. We're always teaching, learning, and helping one another because it's a vibrant mentoring community. All right. Let's see what else did that say.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm blowing it up a little bit. All right. What if I'm interested, but I don't have the money for your training Amazon class this year? Will you have a future training class later in 2024? Yeah, Ray, I have a payment plan available, but unfortunately, I set out to mentor 100 people, and right now I have 98 of those slots filled. So that's it. There's just only 2 slots left. So it's just going to come down to whomever submits their payments first for those last 2 remaining slots. And then that's it. I got to close the door because I can't handle any more than 100 clients. And I'm really overworked already as it is right now. So be taking on these last 2 clients, that'll be it. After that, I'll be closing the door and going back on my normal everyday vacation type of lifestyle. Yeah, so I apologize for that, Ray, but in order to give everybody the right level of service, then I have to keep it, at a certain level so I don't get overwhelmed. All right. That must have been the last question.
Yeah, that was the last question. And then the other question I was telling you about. They wanted a couple people want a quick comparison between Brazil and Thailand since you've been in both places now for a nice little bit of time. So you
True,
can give
true
a
indeed.
little your accurate
Okay. All right.
breakdown.
So
Yeah.
I'll start with the most obvious, food, right? Because that's the first thing you're gonna do when you get anywhere. You're gonna eat, right?
Mhm.
So Thailand has incredible food. They mostly eat a lot of seafood, rices, soups, and noodles. That's the staples. And you don't see them drinking a lot of soft drinks, or when you go to the grocery stores, you don't even see a lot of sugary cereals. Like in Brazil, when Philly Dom and I would go to the grocery store had one aisle for cereal, and then it was probably only like 2 or 3 feet long. In the United States, you have a cereal on the left, cereal on the right, from the front of the grocery store all the way to the back. But when you go to Brazil or Thailand, that's not what you see. And Philly Dom and I used to go to this buffet when we moved to Salvador Bahia, and it was like right down the street from our Airbnb. And man, they would have these vegetables, and we would go down there for breakfast, and they would have these pastas and starches, and that's what they ate every single day. Very little junk food. You know, when Philly Dom and I had company over at the penthouse, upstairs we had a rooftop pool that was private just for us. And I remember me and Philly Don would go to we went to it was like a Costco type of grocery store, right?
Yep.
And man, we bought alcohol, we had beer, and I don't just buy boxes. I don't just buy like a pack of Snickers or a pack of Kit Kats. Uh, Philly Don, tell them how I do it.
Man, he bought a whole case of them. Like I
The
ain't never seen
whole
that. Like 2 or 3 cases, like a case of Kit Kats, case of Snickers, case
same
what's
thing
the other
with
one?
beer.
Yeah, with beer, liquor. Like I mean, not one liquor. He bought like 6 or 7 or 8. So we had some company come over and hang out with us. They got the choice what they want to drink and everything. He
Yep,
do it big. He do everything big. Yeah,
yep. Yeah,
he
and
do everything big.
pretty much the same thing with when we go out to party. What's
Yep.
it like going out and partying with him?
VIP every time. VIP popping
Straight to
bottles,
VIP. Now unless
everything.
VIP is just full and we can't get in there.
Yeah, that's it. But if it's room there, we always in VIP.
Yeah,
How much you want to drink, how much you want to eat, whatever, whatever. It could
yeah,
be 2 of us, it could be 20 of us. He'll make sure everybody comfortable.
yeah. Or
Yeah,
Philly, we met with Renata in
yeah,
Rio, and she took us to on a tour of Christ the Redeemer.
Yep.
What did we do after that?
We went to like one of the most expensive restaurants in Rio. It's on it's in Copacabana. I forget the name. What's the name? You
Yeah.
remember the name? I forget the name, but
Mauricio's or
yeah,
Mario.
you up? You right on point with it. Yep, that's it. I
Yeah.
think that's what it's called. And that was really exclusive. That was like she said, not many Brazilians go there.
Yeah.
It's pretty expensive. It's pretty
And it was
expensive
nice
unless they
too.
wealthy
Yeah.
Brazilians.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
had ice in the urinals. It was that nice. Well, you urinating on ice. It was something to see. And you know, like when Philly and I left Rio and we went to Salvador Bahia, we flew. We ain't get on no bus.
Nope, we flew up there.
We flew, yeah.
We
And
flew up there.
it was vibe every day. One day we went to the mall. Remember the day we went to the mall?
Wait, I can't remember the name of the malls, man. I know Salvador Mall. The Salvador Mall. That's easy because that's the name of the place. What's the other one we used to go to? It's two other ones we used to go to. I can look them up on the videos. That's one thing about YouTube. You can always go back.
So there was Bella Vista.
Yeah, Bella Vista. Oh yeah, Bella Vista. How could I forget Bella Vista?
Salvador Bahia.
Yeah, I know that one.
And I think the other one was Pellerini. Pella something.
Pella something. Yeah.
And one day I even bought Philly Dom a pair of sneakers. I was like, yo, pick whichever one you want.
They was like $100 plus sneakers. They was $100 plus.
Yeah. And the same day I had a little date with me. Like, you know, she bought a pair of boots and then she bought her mother an oven. Yeah, because it was my birthday when Philly and Dom and I first got there, and I had met a little date, and she came over, and she brought her mother and her cousin cleaned the entire Airbnb for me and Philly Dom.
From top to bottom.
Top to bottom, on hands and knees and everything. And then they went into the maid's quarter and they changed their clothes and showered, came back out, and then cooked our entire birthday meal.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna reward that because that's beautiful. You could never meet a woman in the United States, and on the first date, she comes over with her mother and her cousin and clean your house from top to bottom, and then turn around and cook you a birthday dinner. I'm 50 years old, and I've never had that happen before. So we were out at the shopping mall, and she was telling me her mother's stove had stopped working, and I just bought her mother a brand new stove right there and had it delivered to her house.
Yeah, I was right there with him, and it's on video. We got it on video. I did we were recorded at that time. Matter of fact, we were recording at that time.
So you know, that's a testament to what you could do. You know, when you get to the point when you start making this Amazon money, your life changes. And like right now, Philly has 3 books published on Amazon, work on his 4th, that's already bringing him in extra money.
Yeah.
So, you know, you fast forward to a year from now, man, them books going to be bringing him in revenue that is going to leave generational wealth to his son. Because he's going to own that publishing for the rest of his life and those royalties. Yep. Or he can decide to sell it for a nice lump sum amount of cash. So, you know, when you travel into these different countries and you got money, you can live however you want to live. And so Brazil, we had a good time. We did it big. And I'll say this also about Brazil. Brazil is very lovely. They have a lot of great food there too, but they're mostly focused on vegetables and meats.
Yeah, they help them.
Yeah. And so you can see it in that, you can see their diet and their bodies. Where in Thailand, the diet is primarily eating healthier, drinking teas, not as many as heavy starches as Brazilians eat. So I tell, you know, people all the time, you know, men and women in Thailand don't have the body of Westerners. So if you're a man and you like a voluptuous woman with a lot of curves and stuff, Thailand isn't where you're going to see that. That's where you'll see that in Brazil, you know. So, but other than that, Thailand is cheaper than Brazil, and just based on the currency too. So your money goes further here in Thailand, but it's equally as beautiful as Brazil. Brazil has a lot of pristine beachfront property and great weather. I will say that It does rain quite a bit during the
Okay.
rainy season, just like it does here in Thailand. So that's a tie. Um, but uh, Bangkok definitely has a better infrastructure setup
Okay.
than Rio or Salvador Bahia.
Oh
It's very
wow.
easy to get around, super cheap. Like you could get on the BTS. They got a BTS that goes above ground, and like a subway system that goes underground. And or they also have buses, or they got little tuk-tuks. And so the comparison, they're pretty much the same, but they just move a little different. But what I will say is that the Thailand is a Buddhist culture, and in the Buddhist culture, it's very beautiful. They're very serene and peaceful people. Uh, One day I saw a motorcycle get cut off by a taxi, and the driver didn't even flinch. They didn't flinch each other off, and there was no exchange of words. He just jammed on the brakes and went around, and I see that all the time. I see very little road rage, but when we're in Salvador Bahia, they on them horns like they in New York or New Jersey. Beep beep, move, get out the way. So that's the difference. And I think that difference is grounded in religion. You get a lot of and evangel. I can't even say it. It's so early in the morning. And evangelism, tongue twister. Catholicism in Brazil, whereas here in Thailand is primarily a Buddhist culture. So they go to the temple, they pray. I actually went on a tour with one of my friends to a Buddhist temple, and they had this thing where they were putting money in the offering, and they were literally getting on their stomachs, low crawling under like this staircase. I had never seen anything like that before. So just very different. And here they have like a canal and a river system, so you can get on the boats at night. You can get on the boats during the day and take rides, go back and forth. And so it's just beautiful either way. Brazil, Thailand are two of the best countries I've been to by far. Just the way everything is set up. And Philly Dom and I used to discuss this all the time in Brazil, how both of us being, just young black men walking around. We never got harassed or stopped by the police ever, ever. And yeah, and Philly was there for much longer than I was. So I was there for 4 months. He was there for much longer, and yeah, police didn't bother you. And same thing here in Bangkok, though. Well, correction. If you are in a resort town like Pattaya or Phuket, maybe Hua Hin or Chiang Mai or Koh Samui, and you're renting a car or a motorcycle and you get pulled over, they do require that you have an international driver's license. And if you don't have one of those, they're not going to bother you per se, but they will fine you, which is 500 baht. And 500 baht is the equivalent to about $15. So it's literally nothing. It's more like a payoff than anything. And if you're a foreigner and you're not wearing a helmet, then they will fine you 500 baht for that too. But if you don't mind paying a fine of 500 to 1,000 baht for no international driver's license or not wearing a helmet, then there's no problem. They don't bother you other than that. So that's kind of the differences that I've noticed between the two cultures and the two countries. And I remember one of my Asian friends was telling me that the king of Thailand doesn't even live in Thailand anymore. He lives majority of his time is spent in a hotel in Germany, and I thought that was just hilarious when she told me that. So but other than that, man, beautiful countries. I still have a lot of exploring to do, so I'm gonna get out and explore more. But I appreciate you guys getting on this call with me and doing another live. I miss you. And Philly Dom, hope to see you again, pulling up on me in Thailand, man. You're muted.
One more question. One more question. Yeah. Yeah.
Willie Barker is asking, Wayne, do you ever get bothered standing out in a country with few blacks? Nah, not at all. And here in Thailand, here in Thailand, Willie, you stick out like a sore thumb. You're taller than everybody else, you know, and yeah, they look at that chocolate skin and they're looking at your hair. Now, what I've observed is most people, they avoid eye contact with you because that's just in their nature. They're very submissive. They're very passive aggressive. So they're not going to stare unless they have an opportunity to stare without you knowing that they're looking. But other than that, they're gonna be very courteous. They're gonna glance at you and then keep it moving. But you do stick out, but it's not a problem. Nobody bothers you. You're absolutely safe. In Brazil, Philly Dom and I blended in. Nobody even knew we were American until we spoke. So that's probably the biggest difference between Brazil and Thailand is that as a black man, or actually no matter what ethnicity you are in Brazil, you just blend in because it's multicultural and multi-ethnic, right? You just blend in. There's every race, ethnicity. If you look Asian, you can blend in. If you look Latino, you can blend in. Caucasian, African American, even Africans can blend in. So it doesn't matter in Brazil, but yeah, in Thailand, you stand out like a sore thumb. And also, it's easy to use Google Translation
Mm-hmm.
as an app, um,
Okay.
and and start learning Portuguese, and the languages can easily roll off your tongue. You just gotta develop that French type of accent with that German and that Proto-European mixed in. But man, trying to learn Thai or Cambodian or Indonesian, that's a whole different struggle because
That's a
one,
whole,
you
wow.
can't read it. You have to learn that how you have to learn the alphabet first just so you can read it because the words aren't even in what we know as words in English or English alphabet. So that
Wow.
makes it extra challenging. So the only tie that I've picked up thus far is where they kind of say sawadika. So women say sawadika and men say sawadikra. And I may even be getting that wrong up to this point, but that's
Wow.
like thank you or welcome or something like that. So, but the advantage or the pro is in Thailand, quite a few people speak English to some degree. So whenever you go out to a restaurant, as long as you're not like off the beaten path somewhere, there's almost always somebody who can speak some level of English so you can articulate whatever it is you want to express. But yeah, in Brazil, the exact opposite.
Phew.
Philly and I would go around for days and it might be one or two people who spoke English well
Yeah.
enough you can understand them.
Yeah. We could count them on our hands. Like if
Yeah,
you in Salvador Bahia, forget about Rio. You had a little bit of chance because there's a lot of tourism there, right there in Copacabana. But
yeah,
even Rio, once you like left Copacabana and you was in other areas, good luck. Remember we
yeah.
had the one because you forgot the one place we stayed in Rio, the one all the way up in the
Bar de Zuka.
yeah, up that
Yeah, Bar
way.
de Zuka.
Nobody was speaking English up there at
Nobody. Yeah,
zero.
yeah. How long did we
Zero.
stay there? We
Like
stayed
two
there
weeks, I think, like 2 weeks, maybe
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, you sure did. Yeah, 2 weeks. And
Yeah,
it was too far from the action, so it would
yeah,
take us like 30 minutes to get to Copacabana.
yep,
So we was like, yo, we gotta get closer to Copacabana. So that's what we did. We left
yeah,
and we moved closer to Copacabana.
yeah. We was right in the mix of everything. Yeah, and then, yeah. Once you leave out of yeah,
Yeah. And
man,
then when we got to Salvador Bahia, then I asked Philly where's the best place to stay because he had already stayed there. So he put us right in the center of all the action.
yeah,
Yeah. And then when I found the little penthouse, then we were definitely right down the
yeah,
street from
right
we
there.
could walk for all the parties and
Yeah,
all the
night, night.
nightlife. It was beautiful.
Yeah, ocean right there. It was
Yeah.
nice. It was nice.
Yeah. Our favorite club. You remember the name of our favorite
Yeah,
club?
show bar. These guys
Yeah.
there right now. Some guys called me yesterday. My boy from Atlanta.
Yeah.
He from Atlanta. You know them. You met them. The guys from Atlanta. They back out here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and let me share this with you guys too. This is something that I didn't know about Philly, and that I discovered hanging out with them. That Philly Dom is an international sensation. The man is now becoming famous. Like we were out randomly parts of the city, Salvador Bahia, where there are no tourists, and all we would hear while we walking down the street is "Yo, Philly Dom," and it would be somebody he had never even met
I ain't
before
never met
that
him before.
just saw his video, loved his personality, and man, you was just excited to meet him. And that happened like 4 or 5 times that I was with them, and it's probably happened more times that I wasn't with them. So I just had to share that because when you see stuff like that, man, you see somebody who really putting in work that the people love and they know his name. And yeah, now he has that fame and notoriety, and his bank account is starting to stack up.
We working.
Yeah, Willie Barker is saying, yeah, they probably think you play ball in Thailand. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if I put on like a little NBA jersey and go out one night or during the day. Yeah, they think I'm a ball player. Or I used to play basketball, but now I play volleyball. And one day I did go play volleyball a couple of weeks ago, and that was pretty live. Yeah, it was like I thought you were a basketball player. I didn't think you even knew how to play volleyball. So
Wow.
they were kind of surprised. And I'm getting over a cold. You guys will have to excuse me, but I spent last weekend in Cambodia, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I just jumped on a plane and flew over there for the weekend to go to Angkor Wat and caught like a little flu virus that I'm just now getting over. So you have to excuse me, but it was a lot of fun though. So if I had to catch a little flu virus for hanging out in Phnom Penh for the weekend, I guess it's worth it.
Cool vibe. It was a nice little vibe out there.
Oh yeah, man, and it's even cheaper than being here in Bangkok.
Wow.
It's crazy. I mean, man, if I had to live on like Social Security, like $1,500 a month, that's where I would be. I would be somewhere in Asia, living in a small town somewhere where that $1,500 would feel like $5,000 a month. Yeah, like I was staying in a 5-star hotel with a rooftop infinity pool,
Hmm.
uh, a full gym, and in this almost like in the city center. Let me tell you this: if I could have went to the roof of the hotel and threw a rock at the MGM. They have an MGM in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, just like they do in Las Vegas on the Strip. I didn't go over there and gamble because I'm not much of a gambler,
Hmm.
but I'm definitely going to go back and hit up some of the shows and stuff they're going to have coming and the attractions. But I was there for 4 days, and I paid $138 for that hotel room, and I
For
was like
4 days.
for
Oh
four
wow.
days, $138.
That's like a hostel
And
price.
yeah, yeah, and then that was my second time going. The first time I went, I actually had the penthouse uh, um, hotel apartment, and the view was spectacular, and it was only like $200 for the 3 days that I was there. So the price is unbelievable. Try to get a penthouse for less than $200 a night at any hotel in the world,
It's gonna be
other
a
than
problem.
non-pen, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be $2,000 a night.
They gotta ask you the notorious question that always come up with Thailand.
All
The
right,
lady boys.
Jalen Jameson. All right, yes. So the lady boys are rampant, not only here in Thailand or in Bangkok and Pattaya, they're in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, they're everywhere. Now, they don't really bother you per se, but some of them are dressed up and you can tell, but they're just, doing what they see other women doing, just, hitting on pedestrians and tourists and saying hey, but they don't physically bother you, nothing like that. But I will say that, the one measure of disclosure that's actually pretty good and transparent is they will tell you if they are a lady boy. So I haven't seen a situation where, like, I do have my online dating app on. So I got Bumble and Tinder, right?
Mhm.
And I remember I was in Phnom Penh, Cambodia this weekend. The I'm losing track of time because I'm still kind of lighting my head from this flu. But yeah, I was just there, and on my dating profile came up a match, and I was like, okay, she is super beautiful, just Asian and just beautiful. Just I was like, okay, that she's nice. I'm gonna hit her up, and then I was like, okay, stop. Can't do that here. So I had to scroll down through her profile, and they always put it on their profile. So, I'm kind of thankful for that because, I seriously thought that she was 100% a woman.
Oh
And I
wow.
remember I grew up in the Maury Povich days. And on Maury Povich, they had this segment where they used to have women and trans women up on stage together, all dressed up, and you had to try to figure out who was whom and which was which. And I'll be hanging out with my boys, and we'd be at the crib, just chilling, having a good time, doing our thing, and we could never ever get it 100% correct. And now I see why, because when you get here to a country like this, I've seen it several times where you think you're looking and dealing with a woman, but it's a lady boy. So, if you're out and you're drinking one night and you get a little tipsy, you
Whew.
need to still be alert, still be active, and always ask. That's what you have to do. Always ask. And from what I've heard and from experiences that I've seen of being in the club, if you ask, they always tell you for the most part. As long as you're just cool about it, you're not acting homophobic, whatever like that, then they'll go ahead and disclose to you. But on a dating profile, from what I've seen, it's been almost like 100% disclosure. All you got to do is just go down and read the bio. It's the first thing they have in their bio. Hey, hi, my name is Cookie or Bowl or Lim Lim or something like that. And by the way, I'm a lady boy. And so, if that's not your thing, go ahead and swipe left or hit X and just keep it pushing. Other than that, it's cool. Okay, Willie's asking me, are there many homeless people in Thailand? I would say there are more homeless people that I've seen in Brazil. Yeah, I think Brazil had the higher homeless population. Haven't seen a lot of homelessness here in Thailand, and that's primarily due to the fact that I have money, so I'm in a nice area. I'm probably in one of the most expensive areas of Bangkok. So, yeah, there's pretty much no homelessness here. So I can walk for blocks and not see any type of sign of homelessness. But if you're on a budget and you're staying more in a touristy area where they're more likely going to be to beg and get money, then yes, you're probably going to see more in those type of areas. But you know, just as a frame of reference, I feel safe and comfortable at anywhere, whether it be a affluent neighborhood or poor neighborhood. But I try to just stick to a nice little path where that I know that's easy to get around. But I do like to get out. Like I'm probably gonna get out once I get better and get over this flu, rent a motorcycle and just drive around Bangkok. I do that in every city I go to. Man, when we in Brazil, I didn't actually buy a motorcycle. I bought like a scooter, a big wheel scooter that they ride on the beaches of Copacabana. And I was like one of the first ones and only ones to have it in Salvador Bahia. And I would ride that thing up and down the Malecon all day long, all night long, and nobody would bother me. You're muted, Philly.
Who'd you give it to when you left? Because you had to give it to somebody.
I gave it to Vanessa.
Oh, all right, that's
Vanessa is the
cool.
one who came over with her mother, and they cleaned that whole. And they came. Not only did they do that for my birthday, they came over to the penthouse and did the same thing.
Yep.
Yep.
Good people,
And
man. Solid people.
yeah, so solid people. Yeah. So I will say that about Brazil is that if you connect yourself with the right people, they will look after you. Like me and Philly Dom had company at the penthouse. I never locked my door. It didn't matter who he had over or who I had over, and nothing ever came up missing. Nothing.
Nothing.
And if we had company over, the way I was raised, I didn't mind anybody, going upstairs cooking or drinking or eating whatever they want, because matter of fact, when we went to the grocery store, and we would spend like $400-500 in the grocery store every like 2 weeks just to
Yep.
keep the food, the penthouse stocked with food. All right, stream team. What's your favorite spot? DR, Brazil, Colombia, Thailand. Food, weather, atmosphere. All right, great question, stream team. All right, so let me place these in order. Number one right now would be Thailand. Just for the cost of living, the weather, you get everything that all these choices offer, but Thailand has a much better economy and infrastructure set up. Second favorite place would be Colombia. No, hold on. Yeah, no. First is Thailand. Second is Brazil. Third is DR, and fourth is Colombia. All right, so food, the first one would go to Thailand. First, of course, we'll go to Thailand. So Thailand for infrastructure, cost of living, and food. Let's see, weather. I have to give the weather to the DR, man. The DR weather was just, it was beautiful. I was there for 18 months. I got to see an entire weather cycle. Now, and when it did rain, 15 minutes, only when we got like a tropical storm or a hurricane breeze by where the weather turned bad. But other than that, yeah, the DR has impeccable weather. And Brazil has very nice weather too, but it does rain. Brazil does have a rainy season. And Colombia, the weather's nice. It's a little cooler. Like depends on where you are in Colombia, whether you're in Cartagena, Bogota, or Medellin. If you want a colder sort of tropical weather, you want Bogota. If you want a balanced tropical environment, you want Medellin. Medellin is also nicknamed the city of spring, eternal spring, because every day of the year is sort of like about 80 something degrees. And that's doable. So when you go out during the day, you're not going to walk, a couple of blocks and just start sweating like a bucket. So that advantage goes definitely to Medellin, Colombia. Cartagena is beautiful too, nice weather, but it is piping hot in Cartagena, and they have beautiful beaches. But for most part, if you're in Cartagena and you're right on the shoreline, the water is kind of brown because the sand is brown. So that's a nice little breakdown between the countries. Now, Dominican food is nice. They have their own cuisine. It kind of reminds me of Colombian cuisine. They're very similar, in a lot of ways. But Brazil has their own type of flavor going on. Brazil does a lot of meats, a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables. And so me and Philly Dom ate real good in Brazil, but the way they eat and the portions that they eat, it will pack a lot of weight on you. But since I've been here in Thailand, I got to give it to them for the food, man. I mean, the street food, you can survive off of street food and not really even worried about getting sick because it's such a staple here and it's just super inexpensive and cheap. And they have 7-Elevens everywhere. Sometimes you see a 7-Eleven just 100 feet away, like on Walking Street in Pattaya. So, the food is excellent. And again, it's not going to break your bank. Even if you go and dine upscale, it's still nice. And then the service is just great too, because again, they bring that Buddhist culture. So they always bow to you. They're always saying thank you. They never have an aggressive body posture. Like I went downstairs to a restaurant in close to the building where I am now. There's a 7-Eleven downstairs, by the way, too. So I really ain't even got to leave the building. There's 7-Eleven restaurant, mall right down the street, and a BTS. And you can jump on the BTS and get to wherever you're going. The BTS literally takes me 3 minutes to walk there. So I went downstairs last night to get some solid food because to try to get over the sickness. And I ordered grilled sausage with mashed potatoes as my appetizer. I ordered linguine and oyster with as my meal, and a bottle of water. And when they brought my meal out, they also brought me a pizza. And I was like, nah, I didn't order a pizza. They was like, oh no, okay, that's our mistake, no problem. And so they took it back. It was no problem. But you put yourself in that situation in the United States, you had to pay for that pizza.
Oh man.
Yeah, let me see. What else can I think of? Okay, what makes Cambodia different than Thailand? The people, culture, food, how they treat Black people, are the women checking for Black men in Cambodia? All right, so let's start at the end. Yes, the women are checking for Black men in Cambodia, especially when you go down certain streets. They have walking streets in Cambodia just like they do in Phuket or Pattaya or Bangkok, Thailand. And yeah, the women will be checking for you. It also depends on what type of women you're looking for. If you're just out and about during the nightlife, a lot of women do, depending on how you dress and how you carry yourself, they look at you, but they may not have that courage or audacity to approach you. So you might have to approach them. But a lot of Cambodian women are curious about Black men, and I've even had one Cambodian woman tell me that she's afraid of Black men because we're let's just say we don't need that. We don't need Viagra to any degree. She put it in a different way, but you know what I'm saying. She was like, no, too big. You too tall, too big. That's how she put it. So she was like, yeah, I can't do it. But I was like, it's not about the size of the boat, it's about the motion of the ocean. So yeah. And they're also checking for Caucasian men and Asian men. I've seen everybody getting play in Cambodia. But you also see a lot of monks here in Thailand and Cambodia, and they're very peaceful and just going about their day. And let me see what makes the people culture. Yeah, so the culture in the food is very similar. I didn't really see any differences, major differences in the culture or the food. It's very similar. They have tuk-tuks there and taxis, and tuk-tuks here and taxis. And the only thing you really have to get adjusted to is the currency. So when you arrive in Cambodia, you just pay $75 for a single entry 30-day visa. And then you got to withdraw, and you have to pay for that in US cash. You can't pay with their currency that I know of. But I just went to the ATM and drew some cash out. But I don't know. I'm thinking I should have been able to pay with Cambodian cash too, now that I think about it. But and when you're coming back into Thailand, they want you to, when you're at customs, they want you to show that you have a certain amount of money on you just to come back into Thailand. So they don't want you to be broke trying to come back and forth, finagle things and get up money. That they want you to physically show, how much money that you have, and you got to have the right amount of money. I forgot what the right amount of money is, but I just thought that was unusual. I've never had that before happen at a customs. But if you got that covered, then it's no problem. And yeah, they treated me the way any culture has treated me, just like another person. In the building that I'm staying in right now, though, because this is an affluent area and it's a lot of money here. One of my neighbors is, I'm not sure if he's Chinese, but he doesn't really look Thai to me. So just from my naked eye, I think he's Chinese. And when I walk past people, I always look them in the eye and I give a slight head nod or a slight bow. And yeah, every time I look at him, he just looks down. And so I just thought that was real funny and comical because, he's much older and he's from a different time and a different era. And, if you're from that type of time and era and you haven't really met any African American men or black people per se, or brown or darker brown people, then you might have some type of inherent fear of people. So, I have seen that sometimes, even with Asian women. So, but it's not a problem. It's just people's interfere if they haven't experienced something or they don't have any friends in a different ethnicity. So, once you learn those signals and how those people process their own fear, then you'll learn to just not even look at them because it just intimidates them. Or, when you're on the elevator with them, then you find the same thing happen. So I'll always just speak and say hi. And if they don't say anything back, then, no problem. I don't look at it as disrespectful or, rude. I just understand that most people are trapped within their own limitations based on how they were raised, when they were raised, and who raised them. So, yeah. All right, Philly Dom, put all my info up on the screen. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go soon because you gotta. I know you didn't get no sleep. You had to get up really early to do this. A lot of people don't understand that you're like 12 hours ahead of us. If they're in the States, depends if
Yeah,
you're in California or if you're in New York. Still a lot of hours.
Yeah, if it's Central Standard Time in the United States, we're 12 hours ahead. If it's Eastern Standard Time, we're only 11 hours ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to get up. I had to set my alarm for like 5:33 just to get up and prepare for this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you. Let me put your link.
And I'm still slightly sick, so now I'm about to go back to bed. Still congested.
All right.
Yeah.
So
but appreciate you guys. Again, my apologies for being a little under the weather. But again, just wanted to give you guys just one last good presentation because we only got those 2 spots left. So if you hit me up as fast as humanly possible and get on the list and get in your payment, then I can get you in and get you on the door. And let's give a big shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Philly Dom.
Cool vibes. So yeah, man, we out there. You guys have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you at in the world.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate it.
All right, peace out to everybody.